Chris Eubank Jr. is back in the training camp. The rematch with Conor Benn is finally happening after months of discussions, debates, and fan excitement. His journey to the battle has begun. Today we examine the significance of this moment for British boxing, its importance, and what is expected as Eubank starts preparing for this major bout. As we already know, the rivalry between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn is more than just a boxing fight. It continues the tradition of their fathers, Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn, who produced some of the best moments in British boxing history during the 1990s. Although Eubank Jr. won in their first bout, the rivalry persisted due to tension and controversy. Now that the rematch has been confirmed, the focus is on pride, resolving the issue once and for all, and demonstrating that his maiden triumph was no coincidence.
I mean, at the time, I was too young, but later on in my life, as I got older, I started to understand what it was my father did, who he was, what he'd gone through, and I learned that Nigel Benn was his arch nemesis, was the man that put him through hell for years and years and years, was the man that they built their careers with, the man that he did that with.
During training, Chris Eubank Jr. uses the heavy bag to develop rhythm, timing, and controlled power. As he imagines Benn in front of him and modifies angles with each blow, each round combines powerful punches with slick footwork. Every practice becomes a mental and physical workout as the sound of leather hitting the bag fills the gym. These exercises help him become more accurate, increase his stamina, and develop a punching style that he can use on fight night. Most significantly, his team has been fully committed to preparing him for this rematch, with trainers and support staff working together to make sure every part of his game is sharp. Each member knows just how to push him to get better, and training sessions are carefully planned to increase his power, speed, and strategy, with the common objective of having Eubank enter the ring prepared to put on another outstanding performance and earn another victory. The squad functions as one cohesive person.
You gotta do is sit there with your balance, just like the bag. And let the bag, when the bag starts swinging like this, you don't gotta reach no more, because it's coming to you. That's how you can structure the way you sparring these guys. Instead of coming to you, you can sit there. You got better balance. Pick them apart. Pick them apart. They come in, make a mistake, that's what they go get. All you gotta do is keep your toes tapping and stay on balance and stay on rhythm. And you gonna be able to hurt these guys coming in and going backwards.
Furthermore, in his training, pad and mitt sessions with his coach feel like a fast-paced chess match. Every blow is returned, requiring Eubank to react fast, change course, and hit with accuracy. His timing is locked in, his defensive reactions are enhanced, and his combinations are sharpened by the steady pace. Additionally, these exercises help him develop muscle memory, which makes every action feel natural and keeps him confident and fluid when the real conflict pressure is applied in the ring. Knowing that he has already defeated Conor, Chris goes into the rematch focused and confident. He is concentrating entirely on his training and avoiding outside distractions as he strives to enhance each element of his performance. For him, the goal of this fight is proving that his first victory was well earned and that he is still at the top of his game by being disciplined, diligent, and determined to win.
Money, fame, comfort, none of that's really been a driving factor for me. At this stage in my career, I'm comfortable. You know, I'm not financially in need of anything. I could retire tomorrow and I'd be great for the rest of my life. But that's not, you know, that's not what drives me. You know, I want to fight. I want to compete. I want to prove myself. I want to entertain the fans. This is the sport I love, and I know that there's so much more left for me to achieve. That's what drives me. I'm not hungry anymore.
Moreover, Eubank's strength and conditioning program focuses on producing long-lasting energy and explosive power. He keeps his movements swift and precise by combining resistance training, plyometrics, and agility drills in his routine. Each training is planned to help him retain his speed and power under duress by preparing his body for the demands of each round. By challenging himself throughout training, he makes sure he can maintain the same level of effort from the first bell to the very end of the fight. Additionally, through sparring, Eubank is able to apply training to real-world battle scenarios. He deals with partners who have varying strengths like power, speed, or deft movement, and adjusts as needed. His conditioning is pushed, his tactics are tested, and he must overcome live resistance in every round. He gains experience to handle any style Benn attempts to employ in the rematch, thanks to the mental struggles that prepare him for unforeseen situations and the physical arguments that hone his skills.
Good feint. I see you thinking. Get that left hand up a little more this first round. Till you get real comfortable. Until the sparring session settle. Good jab. There you go. Good work. Good work.
Moving forward, let's also talk about what pros' thoughts are on this clash. Adam Smith reacted to the rematch with clear happiness, saying this match will feel like the 13th round for him continuing the first fight. Conor Benn pushed really hard for the first fight, but unfortunately could not secure victory. He also underlined that this time, he is likely to prepare even harder, with the element of revenge in his mind and the need to prove he is the best. Despite the first result, Benn will aim to show he can overcome Eubank and change the story in his favor.
Clauses, yes, I understand about the fact it may not live up to the brutality, I guess, beautiful brutality of the first fight, but it's a fight that has to happen again. Conor Benn wants revenge. I think he grew hugely in their first fight, and I think Junior gutted it out when people were questioning him. I thought he was terrific down the back stretch, and they provided what they said they would, a fantastic fight, and it will be round 13 in November. I'm glad it's been made. I know it was looked at for September, but I think another couple of months is good for both of them.
Furthermore, he also expressed that it will be interesting to see how this fight plays out differently from the first one. This rematch will reveal whether Eubank Jr. still has weight issues, and for Benn, it will show what lessons he has learned from that first meeting. If he has not learned anything, then the result will likely stay the same, and in that case, Eubank Jr. could secure victory again and strengthen his place at the top.
Beaten, but I think it will be fascinating to see Will Eubank be okay at the weight again? He's a little bit older. Will Conor Benn have learnt enough in that first fight to maybe get it right this time? Because there were times in that first fight, and Declan Rice was sitting just behind us, and he was a big Conor Benn fan, and he was saying to me, do you think he's going to win? And at times in the middle rounds, I thought Conor was going to win. But Eubank, as I said, did so well at the back end, and it was one of those fights where it could have gone either way, but Eubank was the right winner and, you know, got the decision correctly. And now it's a chance for, can he do it again? Will it be repeat or will it be revenge?
However, Simon Jordan expressed his disagreement with the idea of this rematch, saying he does not think it should happen because, in his opinion, people are disinterested in this fight. However, he stressed that if they want to sell this rematch, they will need to do something different this time. Referring to incidents from the first fight, he pointed out that those moments are not going to play a role now. He emphasized that they will have to work very hard to capture people's attention and generate real excitement for this second meeting.
If people want to watch it, fair play to them, and they're going to get paid a lot of money. The interesting thing will be, can it live up to whatever hype they're going to have to create? Because the deal has been done, the deed has been seen. It's whether we can do something different to capture the public's imagination.
Which is going to be difficult because it
But they
almost
probably
seemed to
will.
tick all the right boxes, didn't it?
Probably will. There's enough money in the room. You know, you can't slap somebody in the face with an egg. You can't call somebody a cheat anymore. You know, you can't reveal that someone's father is now talking to you when they weren't previously. You can't do any of this again. So you've got to do something different.
Yeah.
And they are nothing if not imaginative.
Another important boxing mind, Spencer Oliver, while commenting on the rematch, slightly edged Conor Benn. He said that going into this rematch, he will feel more relaxed because he is always in good shape and maintains his weight well. On the other hand, Chris might face difficulties, just as he did in the first fight, when it comes to making weight. Reflecting on the first fight's outcome, he remarked the results were fair and that Eubank deserved the win, though it was a close contest that could have gone either way on the scorecards.
You know, the family feud that goes back so long and the egos that are involved and the will to win. I think we get it again. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it favours Conor more going into this second fight than it does Chris Eubank because of the stipulations that have been put in place. So that are all pretty much the same. I think it's quite widely known that Chris Eubank Jr. does struggle to make 160, so it's how he makes that. The rehydration clause is still in place, etc., etc. So look, it's an interesting fight. The first one was a close fight. I thought Eubank deserved to win that one, but it could be closer, this one.
Interestingly, in response to Simon Jordan's comments about Eubank Jr. preferring money over world titles and being willing to skip a world title fight for the sake of a big money bout, Anthony Yarde remarked it is the reality of sports. He explained that fighters often take big money fights because one opportunity like that can change everything. However, speaking about himself, Yarde said he prefers chasing greatness over money, and after retirement, he would rather be remembered for having a good career than simply for earning huge amounts of money.
You know, one fight can change everything. That's not even me thinking negative, that's the reality of the sport. So my personality has always been, you know, I want to win a world title.
I want to test yourself.
I want to test myself. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be able to look in the mirror when I retire and say, yeah, I know that person. Like really look in my eyeball and say, I know who that person is. I'm not just a talker.
While we shed light on Conor Benn's preparations, he is also totally focused on getting ready for this rematch. The recollection of their first fight motivates him to train every day since it serves as a reminder of how close he came and how much more he wants to accomplish this time. In the camp, he pushes himself through lengthy, rigorous sessions meant to improve his talents, enhance his reactions, and develop the stamina required to perform at the top level. His method is based on discipline, effort, and consistency, and no detail is missed. He is mentally transforming the disappointment of the prior outcome into inspiration, utilizing it as fuel to increase his effort and maintain focus on his objective. Furthermore, the prospect of competing against Eubank again gives him a competitive edge in everything he does and motivates him to get better every day. Every round, every punch, every movement matters because Ben knows that in a fight this big, even the little advantage may have a big impact. He is aware that the goal of the rematch is not just to equal the score, but also to make clear to himself and the audience that he has changed, matured, and gained knowledge from the first fight.
I love this, man. I love this. I love every minute of it. I just love it, man. Like, there is no, I can't even explain it to you. Because if you looked at my upbringing and you looked at the way I was raised, I'd be far from the person I am today. Because I don't know why, how I am the way I am.
3, 2,
Overall, he is becoming more self-assured and physically stronger every day, eager to show that he belongs at the top and that he is committed to changing the outcome when the bell rings. Moving forward, let's also talk about the fighters' reaction after their first fight. First and foremost, Tony Bellew went straight to him after the fight and offered words of comfort. He told the heartbroken Ben that it was not the last opportunity, reminding him that he had done his best and that is all any fighter can do. Bellew encouraged him to be proud of his performance even though the result was not in his favor. He assured Ben that there was no reason to be sad and urged him to wait for the next opportunity where he could step back into the ring and showcase his real talent to the world once again.
Just leans on you, and that you can't replicate that. You be proud of yourself. Just gonna blow you away in 5 rounds. Is that what people thought? That's what he thought. Is that what people thought? Well, people thought you was just coming up and it was just for money. You're just showing you fought your bollocks off non-stop.
How unbelievable. Time. How unbelievable is that?
It's one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. You haven't stopped.
Yeah.
One of the best fights I've ever seen. You did not stop, and you didn't stop crying, and you didn't stop just be proud of yourself. I know it's easy for me to say, but I'm telling you, because I'm feeling it, you know, I know.
Moreover, Carl Froch, after their first fight, praised both fighters in his analysis. He said they both performed well and delivered an absolutely amazing fight for the fans, one that lived up to all the hype. Despite the result, he felt the performances from both men were outstanding. Froch also broke down the fight in detail, discussing what happened during the bout and identifying the key moments that likely proved to be the turning points in the judges' minds when deciding the outcome.
He was trying to move and throw his jab. Usually he throws combination punches, and he was opting for a jab, little light jab, and he was throwing a lot of arm punches. Conor Benn slipping, sliding, ducking, diving, leaping in, missing with shots, looking wild because he was angry and he wanted to wipe out Junior, didn't he? He wanted to get in there and smash him to bits and take his head off, to quote him. And he was trying. Fair play to him. He had a go, and he even clipped Chris Eubank Jr. in round 3. And I thought, oh dear, that hurt him, because he did. Left hook got him. He stumbled back a little bit. He looked a bit unsteady on his legs. And I was thinking flashbacks of the Liam Smith fight when he got wiped out. But he kept his composure, kept himself in there, recovered.
Other prominent boxing personalities like Ben Whitaker, Derek Chisora, and others also described the fight as an interesting one for the viewers. They supported the result, saying the winner was the right one because he was probably ahead during the fight. At the same time, they praised Conor for giving more than 100% in the ring. They encouraged him not to worry too much about the outcome and instead focus on working even harder in preparation for his next fight to come back stronger.
That's what you call a classic. I think the right man won, but it was a great fight from both parts.
Many had a draw, but that was a unanimous in the end.
Yeah, I think the right man won, but it was a great fight. Both had great heart, and it was the fans loved it.
Conor Benn's come out of a lot of credit, in my opinion. You know, he weathered the storm and he dug deep against the bigger guy. And Chris Eubank Jr. dug deep, really deep at times. I don't think he enjoyed that at all. And he never lets his guard down outside the ring. He does a few times inside the ring, but outside the ring he don't.
Congratulations to Chris. Congratulations to Conor.
for putting a beautiful, beautiful fight.
In short, following his appearance at training camp, Chris Eubank Jr. has the boxing world buzzing, and his supporters are sure that their fighter will do what he did in the first fight and win again. Conversely, Conor Benn's fans hope that he will defeat Eubank Jr. in the ring this time. The excitement is increased by the fact that those making predictions are supporting their decisions with compelling arguments. Given how close the first bout was, this rematch is looking to be a classic clash, and fans are expecting an even more intense and exciting battle this time around. So what do you think? Who will win this time? Your opinions matter too. Will Conor Benn be able to take revenge in this rematch, or will Chris Eubank Jr. further cement his place in the boxing community with another victory? Whom are you picking and why? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Also, stay tuned for further fight coverage as we bring you all the latest news, analysis, and insights leading up to this much anticipated showdown between these two rivals.